All right, everybody. So as you can see, I'm wearing my Wizards gear. Big comeback for the Wizards last night. At one point, they was down by 27. By the halftime, they were down by 21. And then the second half was just who I was expecting to see in the first half, by all means. So I want to get everybody's opinion, first of all, on that comeback last night. I think Bradley Beal finished with like 36. I know Otto Porter finished with 22, and Jan Mahimi finished with 17 points. Jan Mahimi's been playing pretty darn good these last couple of weeks, since John Wall's been out. Even with John Wall, I think he's been pretty, solid. But with John Wall being out these last 2 weeks or so, or 2 weeks plus, he's been pretty darn good, especially rebounding the ball, getting blocks, even getting a couple of steals. But these points, he's been shown who he's supposed to be last year and who he is this year. I think he's improved. So if you guys can go ahead and send me your opinions on the Wizards comeback last night, that'd be wonderful. But I'm going to start by talking about this Wizards first half of the season. We're in the All-Star break. We don't have Wizards games for like another 7 or 8 days. So the guys are going to go out, they're going to get their break, and they're going to get, some much-needed rest, especially Bradley Beal. He's been carrying this team. But let's not leave out Thomas Satoransky. He's been doing pretty darn good. The hashtag everybody eats. Hashtag everybody eats. So my opinion on the Wizards first half is I think right now they're sitting at like 33-24. They're fourth in the East, pending the Milwaukee Bucks play tonight, which they could either be 4 or 5, but they're not going to be anywhere below that. I think the Wizards have done what they could the first half. They started off 4-0, then they had those couple of losses when they took that long 4 or 5 game West Coast trip, that game against LA and that game against Golden State. I won't forget, because that's when the Wizards actually could have been like 6-0 at one point, and they won one of those road games where it could have been 7-0. This team could be close to 40 wins by now if they had played a little bit better on the road. But at 33-24, we're going to take it. We're going to take that. We're going to manage these games like we've been doing, which I think is more than just managing without John Wall. I think 33-24 is pretty darn good. I think that they can get over that hump of 40 games when they come back. Let's remember, though, that they got 5 tough games coming up when they come back from the All-Star break. They got, Cleveland right off the back at 8 p.m. on TNT. I know they got in the mix there Charlotte, who's been giving them some trouble. They got to find a way to beat that team. They got the Philadelphia 76ers, who I know they've beaten once this year. I believe they've even beaten them twice. But Philly's been tough against the Wizards, even if they have beat them. Like this last game about a week or so ago, they just got demolished on the boards, and they got demolished by Simmons and Embiid. They got to do better against those two right there. I think if you take one or two or even maybe both out of the equation, the Wizards will win that game. They came back from double digits in that game. I think at one point they was losing by 20 points in that one too. And that one winded up being a game by the end of the, fourth quarter, by the end of the game. They just couldn't get over the hump. They even got, Golden State, who they almost beat. Yeah, they've been competitive against these good teams. So don't count the Wizards out just because they play, Cleveland, who they did beat on the road last year. Let's not forget about that when they benched LeBron James. They did play pretty darn good against Draymond Green and that Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Kevin Durant was on the court that night when they played in Golden State at 10 o'clock and, was up by like, I think, 8 or 10 at the half. The thing is with those teams is like Cleveland and Golden State is you cannot think that you can let your foot off the gas when you have a 10-point lead on them. You have to smash the ball into their throats, and you have to literally stop that team when you play defense. You cannot let Kevin Durant or even Steph Curry or even Klay start hitting threes, because that's what they are. They're the Splash Brothers. Same goes for Cleveland. They've improved. They've won 3 or 4, I think even maybe 4 or 5 straight. You simply cannot take your foot off the gas and think that you have this game in hand. You have to keep pushing. But I think, again, the Wizards are in a pretty darn good place. They're not too far out from the Boston and Toronto teams right now. I think they're like 6 games out or so, 7 games out. And when they come back, they got 27 games to play. So give me your thoughts on what the Wizards have done in the first half. Give me your thoughts on that New York Knicks versus the Wizards. Big 27-point overall, but 21 from the halftime comeback. And give me your pointers on what you think the Wizards need to do in the second half, and if you think they can get to 50 wins. I think they can get to 50 wins. I know it's tough. I know they got to win about, 17 out of those 27 games left. But if the Wizards can beat these teams they're supposed to beat, they can get there. They can get to 50 wins. I know some of you are going to probably say, You know, hey, Ed, they don't need to get to 50 wins. They just need to be able to manage until John Wall comes back. They need to make sure they get that 4th seed. But let's push for the Wizards to get to 50 wins. Let's break that streak where they haven't gotten to 50 wins. Let's also break that streak where the Wizards can get to being that 3rd seed or that 2nd seed. You know, those top 2 or 3 seeds, because they can do it. I like Bradley Beal the way he's been playing. He's an all-star this year. You know, without John Wall now in the all-star, which he probably would have taken a break, could have had 2 Wizards there. But I think it's a much-needed break for John Wall. So, you know, Scott Brooks has done good. So if you guys are looking to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter is @Riverdale. That's RIVERDALE. And then it's V as in Victor, F as in Frank, D as in David, and then the number 73. You can follow me once again at Riverdale VFD73 at Twitter. Thanks for listening, everybody.